everybody, welcome to our favorite edition of Whiskey at Work, because we're at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. And it's Mark, it's Rob, and joining us is the Senior Ambassador for Jack Daniels, Jed Lirette. Nice to meet you,
It's good
Jed.
to be here. It's
yeah,
good to be here.
This is your first time too.
First
Sturgis,
time.
isn't it?
I'm a virgin. Well, I guess not anymore.
That's no. You've been here since when? When did you show up?
Thursday. I flew into Sioux Falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you had to drive that
Oh,
all the way across the state.
It's awful.
We're sorry.
Yeah, no. Well, we went to Mitchell and did the pre-Sturgis rally downtown.
yeah.
In the Corn Palace, of
You had a
course.
freaking corn palace. I
only
didn't
one.
know. I didn't know that we grew corn like that. I thought Iowa would have the corn palace.
Nebraska.
Don't judge us.
Nebraska.
Don't judge us by our palaces.
There's a
It's-
reason there's only one corn palace.
Yeah.
So you're born and raised. You're a Lynchburg native, then, aren't you?
As native as it's gonna get.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's no hospitals in Lynchburg, so nobody's born in Lynchburg.
Oh, good. Well, maybe in the back
yeah.
of the truck.
See, now the secrets are now the secrets are out. Yeah.
So how did you get into this position with Jack Daniels?
Well, I started with them as a temp. I was just waiting for something else to happen, and I grew up in town. I went to elementary school in town. I fell in love with the actual storyline, and I wanted to be there. They offered me a job. Can you believe it? And so I took the job. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, smart move,
Absolutely.
man.
And I just moved up from there. I am the senior ambassador. We have ambassadors on site in Lynchburg, so if y'all were to go, there's a bunch of ambassadors on the property.
We got to work our way up to you then. We got to go through the associate.
Yeah, we'll jump you in. Yeah, we'll jump you in.
ambassador.
Absolutely. But I get the privilege of sipping whiskey Monday through Friday as part of my gig. I don't get paid for it, but they were like, "Hey, you want some free whiskey?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take some free whiskey." So
I mean, you
Yeah.
can't turn any of that down.
No.
To work for something as iconic. Well, I mean, this is America's best-selling whiskey. right here,
Absolutely,
man. So
yeah.
how do you say no to that?
No, you don't. You
Yeah.
don't. I mean, there's people on the planet that don't even drink anything, and they know Jack Daniels.
Right.
Yeah. So that means
I feel bad for them.
I know life is not good. Life is not good.
So how long have you been with Jack Daniels? Then?
8.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 8.5 years now.
Okay.
It feels like just 2 days because it's so much fun, man. Time's just flying
So
by.
is most of your work centered at Lynchburg, or do you get to kind of travel out like this, like you are now here in Sturgis?
On occasion, they'll send me out, but home base is Lynchburg. That's where
Okay.
I'm working out of. Yeah.
You must have drawn the short straw to end up here in western South Dakota. in the
No, it was.
We're the best part of South Dakota, Rob. Don't make that sound weird.
No, this is wonderful. Like I said earlier when we were just talking off, but it was like I've been out in California. I've gone all the way west. I've never been north of Colorado. And so it's fun to be in a spot that you haven't been before.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of eye-opening. The people around here are amazingly sweet. They're just great people, man.
Well, we're here. This is we do the annual Jack Daniels tasting up here. It's a ticketed event that you get to come up and sample some obviously great Jack Daniels products. The people that are coming up to this one get to taste for the first time the Bonded Rye.
Yes.
That's going to be coming out in stores this fall.
It's exciting.
So how much, can you tell us a little bit about that and why you decided to do a Bonded Rye?
Well, let's talk to the actual Bonded series.
Yes,
because
perfect.
So we have the Bonded, which is our Tennessee whiskey. It's Jack's recipe, but what we've decided to do was follow the entire Ball and Bond Act of 1894. And there's a whole list of rules that you have to go by. So it is 100 proof whiskey. It's been sitting in the government bonded warehouse for us for at least 4 years. It's going to follow all the law. And we only chose the darkest barrels to make that bonded whiskey. So it is not Old Number 7 at 100 proof. It is the biggest, boldest whiskey that we could find to make that very consistent bonded whiskey. Now we also have the triple mash, which we make 3 grain bills at Jack. We make our Tennessee whiskey, which is corn-based. We make our rye whiskey, which is over 51% rye. It's 70 actually. And then we make American malt, which is 100% malted barley. So in Scotland, it'd be called Scotch.
Right.
All right. So each one of those individuals are bonded. And then we mixed all of those together. We blended that whiskey into what that triple mash is. So it's 60% rye. It is 20% Tennessee whiskey and 20% malt. And if you haven't had it, it's absolutely amazing. It's glorious. I love that one.
Yeah.
And then the rye, it's
He's
right.
not kidding. It's
I love
delicious.
it. It's great. I
that
just
a
got goosebumps when I
Right.
said it. Yeah.
So is the single malt, is that the same stuff that's going in your twice barrel?
Yeah, the Oloroso,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. So what we're doing is so that you can actually taste our American malt it's a double barreled, so you're going to have it finished inside that Oloroso sherry cask. When we're using it for the triple mash, it's just oak barrel goes into the blend. Yeah, so that's the only difference between those two. And then we have that rye coming out, and it follows all the same standards, and it's going to be big, bold rye barrels that we're choosing to make that bonded rye with. And it's 100 proof. It's big, all right? Big fire explosion mid-palate, nice soft finish on the back. Has all the fruity notes, kind of musty. You know, it's earthy. Yeah. It's outstanding.
Now, do you, I mean, a lot of people will use rye whiskeys as mixers or cocktails.
Mm-hmm. I know those people.
He doesn't talk to them. We don't spend any
disdain.
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's
time
fine.
with those people.
You do what you want. You're screwing it up.
Drink your whiskey the way you want, as long as you're drinking Jack.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like rye whiskey, that's always kind of been the standard for that to be used in cocktails. But more
absolutely.
and more, it's and especially with Jack and what they've been doing with their rye, it seems like you guys have been able to turn this into a genuine sipping whiskey, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the rye.
Ryes are beautiful on the rocks. I drink all my whiskey on ice. If I bought a bottle, I've never had it before, I'm going to sip it neat for my first taste.
Right.
And then I know I like chilled whiskey, so I'm going to just pour it over some ice. And then drink it as fast as I can.
Fast? No. Well, maybe.
No,
depends on how it's going, right?
No, but it's good. That rye, I'm excited about it because I'm a rye fan. I
Even
love
the
it.
single barrel rye I had again the other day, and I'm not typically a rye guy,
Exactly.
but Jack does something right.
Oh,
And that's not just me being a homer.
Well, it might just be the mellowing process. You know, we're smoothing out that whiskey before it goes into the barrel. Now rye goes through charcoal as well, so it may be the fact.
Oh, it does?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so it may be the fact that we're smoothing out that whiskey before it ever goes into that
must
barrel,
be part of
and
it.
it softens it. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, because we're 70% rye,
Right.
Which is
is
right
hot,
there.
you
It's
know.
kind of high. Yeah, so I like it. Yeah.
It is. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so excited
Well, yeah,
to try this.
I
can't
had
wait.
some while you were at the Windsor Block the other
Yes,
day.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I drank some other stuff over at the Windsor Block, some old stuff at
Yeah.
the Windsor Block. Yeah.
You know what?
Thank y'all so much for your hospitality.
Well, that's all Justin's deal, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. He's been
pretty
great
generous
with
when
that.
it comes to that. He popped a bottle of Coy Hill that day too, and I'm like, all right.
He's got a big heart. He's just
yeah.
a giver, you know.
Yeah, he totally
Jesus.
is. You're not wrong.
Hey, you gotta come over. I got some new stuff.
Got
you
some
gotta
new stuff,
try.
and you got to try it. Speaking of old, there's a bottle sitting in front of us here. What? No. Oh, I thought you were
old.
pointing at me to a bug in
Oh.
my face.
No,
We're the same age,
You're
pal.
old.
So there's
I gave him shit because he's 6 months older than me.
when we walked in,
Yes.
you had all of this sitting on the counter on the inside, and we walked over to it, and you said, "Would you like to try something from 1973?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!"
The answer was yes.
And-
Yeah,
and
of course
when-
it's
when-
yes.
What year were you born?
No one needs to know that,
No,
Jed.
I mean-
That's not important.
How about this?
Listen,
I can
okay.
tell you that whiskey's 5 years older than I am.
It's 3 years younger than me. and you, Rob. So you know,
3.5 years younger.
Younger than you.
this is
2.5.
this is. Can you tell us where you got this from, Jed?
Yeah, there's a collector in Rapid City. He is also a giver. He's a kind guy. He was like, hey, we have some bottles that have slight imperfections, and I want to share it with y'all. And he brought a bottle over and literally cracked open. I mean, he could probably get $1,000+ for that bottle.
Easily.
Even at his imperfected state. And he was like, let's drink it. Yeah. It is absolutely amazing.
A 50-year-old bottle of Jack Daniels, and you're gonna let us try it?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
I think we
All right.
should.
We've talked enough
Here.
about
I'll hold the cups.
all the cool stuff. Well, you tell me. You tell
You
me.
might want
yeah,
him
you
to
might
pour.
want
I
to
don't
pour.
care.
Let's just take a little.
Okay.
There.
There
Rob,
you go,
go ahead
Rob.
and try a little of that. I cracked it open when we were standing
This
inside.
smells so vastly different.
Dude.
And it smells like candy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it smells like Jack
Hold on
Daniels
a second,
candy.
Rob. Did he short pour you? I think
Jed,
he short
Jed,
poured
Jed,
you.
hold on,
There's
Jed,
no chance
look.
that he's gonna get through that. Anyway.
This is
This smells so sweet.
you would expect something that's been 50 years in a bottle to have a harshness to it, to have a, or just an off-putting.
Oh yeah.
And this
Nothing.
has none
Well,
of that.
It's not like wine.
No, but I mean, 50 years is 50 years, right? I mean, it's still, you'd think it'd have to
I'm
be
getting
something.
better every day. What are you talking about? Just ask my wife.
Some of us get musty though. Tell me what you think, though. I mean,
I would like to try that next to a bottle of
black.
today's Jack.
we can. I think we have a bottle of Old Number 7 up there.
We'll have, well, you know,
We'll do it after.
Yeah.
everybody doesn't need to see us do this, all right? We gotta leave some things that make us cooler than everybody else.
Yeah, this is
But,
only 3 bottles of the 20 we have in there.
Right.
But this is,
I told you it was sweeter, right?
right, it's totally sweeter. Almost, I don't know what the word, I'm kind of at a loss for words, honestly. Yeah, I love the after you swallow this and that burn that comes down,
You have
isn't
a
a
finish.
typical Jack finish,
Right,
though.
you have a finish and it's down here.
Yeah.
Some slight tingling in the mid palate. It's sweet though. I mean, it's really sweet on the forward. That's nice.
You don't
Has
need
the-
water, ice, you don't need anything for this.
Has the mash bill changed at all in 50 years? It hasn't. Has
How
it?
about this? On paper, we can trace our grain bill, Jack's recipe, all the way back to the Call property. All right, where Jack learned how to make
Right.
whiskey from Mr. Green.
Yep.
We can trace it all the way back, and we can trace our yeast all the way back to 1909 on paper, which is when Prohibition hit Tennessee. All right. Before that, we have an oral tradition that takes us back to the Call property. Nothing has changed. We're on the same property, using the same waters, using the same recipe, using the same yeast. Everything's the same. So why? Maybe because it's 50 years old. I have no idea why.
Well,
I suppose the grain with the corn,
Qualities,
That
maybe
might-
grain
that
qualities,
the way the
change a
corn
little.
has been grown for the last.
I mean, that'd have to play into it a bit.
A
but I
bit.
mean, it's
I don't know. It's lovely though, man.
it
It's
is.
unbelievably
absolutely
good.
wonderful.
everybody knows, or most people that drink whiskey would know, that once it goes in the bottle, it's done. Whiskey doesn't change like wine.
You could ruin
obviously.
it though. Holy shit, you can ruin it. Well, I don't know if that's even
No.
appropriate.
No, absolutely.
That's how we pronounce it here.
Oh,
too.
Sure,
okay,
right,
I
right.
didn't know if I pronounced that right.
Yeah, you did.
Country dialect. If you keep this in direct sun, you will destroy the color. If it's hot, you will destroy the flavor. You can make it worse. You're not going to
Sure.
make
Right.
it any better.
Right.
But you can make it worse. And so, absolutely, it doesn't get better. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
But after 50 years in the bottle, it's still. I mean, there's a change.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a change for the better, and I don't think you'd find that with a lot of 50-year-old in the bottle, out of the barrel.
I couldn't
not in the
agree with
bottle,
you more.
right?
I couldn't agree with you more. It's unbelievably good. When he cracked it open and we had a chance to taste it, we were like not sure what it was going to taste like. Surprising.
Yeah.
Well, and you're afraid. You're like, God, you don't want it to not taste good because this is our brand, right? This is our
Absolutely,
whiskey,
yeah.
and so you're like, oh, thank God it tastes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
This
you're
is
probably
a-
not popping a lot of these bottles.
No.
Oh
at
God,
the
no.
distillery. And,
I would recommend that y'all need to go find some 50-year-old whiskey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna.
I
what are you
mean,
doing this afternoon, Rob?
I'm sure
I
it's
might
in your
be
price
sitting here
point,
finishing
right?
that off.
This is a treat, Jed.
Yeah,
That's
that was
that's
awesome.
that's
I want to
amazing.
try the 71 before we walk out.
Yeah,
of
Right.
we got that Maxwell House in
Now
there.
this one that you have here is your next. This is the latest in your distillery series.
Yeah,
right?
so we
Is
went
this-
from a 50-year-old to it just
brand new.
released, brand new.
What number is this in this distillery series? You guys at 9 or 10?
Number 11.
Number
actually.
11. There
Number
we go.
11.
Super excited to see what you guys did with this because bourbon is still having its boom.
Yeah.
It's still having its moment. I do think tequila is kind of going to be the next thing that kind of swells up.
Kind of just. moved.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, it's it might be kind of inevitable. It's having its moment, so to speak. So for you guys to take this and finish it in Anejo tequila barrels,
I'm glad you said that word. I screw it up every time I say it.
well, where
He was practicing.
of course I was practicing your name, practicing who you were. So where did you guys? Where did the barrels come from? Do you?
So they were our barrels initially. So we matured our whiskey in it. We're the last major distillery on the planet still making our own barrels.
Right.
So we have stave mills, we have cooperages, and we're producing about 2,500 to 3,000 barrels a day to supply us with the barrels. And so all of those barrels had our whiskey in it. And then we sent some down to Herradura, which is a
that's
Brown
right. Yes,
Foreman
that's a
brand,
Brown-
right?
That's right. Yeah.
Wonderful tequila too.
It
Yeah,
is.
unbelievable. And then we got those barrels back. They shipped them back to us, and then we put mature whiskey to finish inside that barrel.
So it's all your barrel start to finish.
Start
then.
to finish
I mean,
is our
it
barrel.
doesn't leave Oh, that's
Is this
that's
number
cool.
7 then finished in the Anejo?
No, it would have been a single.
Oh, single barrel.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would have been a
Okay.
single.
All right.
Big, bold, dark, you know,
Yep,
kind of
yep,
colors and flavors from the top. I could tell you about
Oh,
it,
boy.
but I would rather you experience it.
You get tequila almost instantly on the nose.
Well, why don't you share?
No, I don't
with
want
us?
to.
Don't drop anything in that lid.
You guys just go sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy this for a
Don't
second.
put that air in there.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, yeah, spill some.
I didn't mean to. He had this
Pour
one.
some out for the homies.
This one was This one was pretty full.
Worms got a drink.
The bees that are around here right now. That's the one they're getting a taste of this.
This one, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Wait till you nose that sucker.
Oh, you do hit that.
Yep.
It's a soft, kind of fruity tequila smell to it.
But blended so well.
It's 90 proof, by the way. It's 90
Really?
proof. And when you sip it, it'll be surprising.
Oh my lord, that is so smooth.
That's what I was going to say. It almost removed all the oak finish off the back. I'm not getting any of it back in my bitters back here.
I might have a new favorite. This
This
could
is-
100% be a new
You're gonna
favorite.
have to go get a
Not-
bunch of it from
I
the
mean,
distillery.
Sinatra's still the deal, all right? But
Well,
this,
What I will tell you is that this whiskey is only sold in the state of Tennessee.
right, that's
It's
a bummer.
Yeah, it's small batch. It's our
Right.
opportunity to play with our whiskey. And it's sold at the visitor center, but you can get it in the state.
Okay.
All right. So, you know, run out to Tennessee. Visit us at Jack Daniels. Come take a tour with us and get a bottle of this, right?
Yeah,
So,
this is it.
Greg may have to sacrifice more than one of these.
I love like I said, on the nose. I love that tequila, because when it comes to the tequilas, you have the Blanco and the Reposado and the Anejo, and the.
He's a whiskey guy.
I did a little homework on that.
holy crap.
The Blanco is your pure, almost right out of the barrel
Clear.
tequilas. Yeah, the clear tequilas. So the Reposado's aged a little bit, and then your Anejo is the one that's aged usually a year or more in most
Okay.
instances. So those Anejo tequilas get much sweeter as you're drinking that.
He's just bragging.
And that's
now.
why
You know he's just
I
bragging.
kind of am. Well, look.
He's like, I went to public school. Yeah.
He's got to get it out
I
before
gotta-
he's gonna forget it on the way down.
I want to do one thing that impresses somebody from Jack Daniels. So hopefully that did it.
Okay,
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks, Rob.
roll you down the hill. That'd be impressive.
I've seen
this
that
is-
done before, though.
This has that sweetness that I love in that Anejo tequila, though, and then on that finish is the Jack, right?
I'm not sharing
It
this
plays
with
so well together.
It's easy. It's just, it's not aggressive. It's soft on the palate.
Speaking of aggressive,
But what's
I segue every moment of this. I didn't even mean to do it. Speaking of aggressive,
what's so frustrating though? Like you said, you got to go to Tennessee to get something like this, or
know
you,
somebody
You got to
in
know
Tennessee.
somebody named Jed.
maybe.
You know? So
it
there you
might,
go.
It might happen. It might.
And and last year,
how long are you guys here?
Yeah.
You guys can't get through all that in the
Right.
next few days,
Yeah,
right?
that's
well,
gonna
I'm
be
flying
almost
out
impossible.
tomorrow, sadly. So.
well, I don't think you can take that on the plane.
I can't. I can't
So-
open bottles.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year we got our first chance. It was my first chance last year to try that Coy Hill, and this you were
Yeah.
telling me that's a big deal. That's something a lot of people ask about.
Yeah.
What is kind of the story behind the Coy Hill?
Okay. All right. So we're. Let me segue.
We haven't melted anybody's face off yet.
No,
so
yeah. So let's see how far we can take it. So we produce. Have y'all been to the distillery
Yes.
yet? Okay. So when you walk through the still house, all of our corn liquor is made there.
Right.
We do have a small still house at the top of the hill, making rye and malt, but 95% of what we make is made in that building. That's the building Frank Sinatra drank out of. You know, I mean, that's our historical still house. We produce it just like our regular whiskey, and we wanted to see how far we could push it. You know, so it's all coming off at 140, and per the bourbon standard, it's all going in the barrel at 125.
Right.
And we thought, hey, if we get it higher in the barrel house, it's going to have hotter temperatures in the barrel house. So we chiseled out the rafters in two of our barrel houses, and we shoved them mere inches away from the metal roof, and we got such an evaporation that that's the Coy Hill release. It's hazmat. It's what it is. You cannot fly with that whiskey.
Well,
not legally. You cannot fly with that whiskey legally.
This is 145.1 proof. Is
Yeah.
what this is.
So there was
And that's the 750 ml bottle.
Right.
The
Yeah.
story I heard was that there was, what, a half a dozen proofs that it came out in, and a half a dozen colors of ink that were signed.
So there are multiple pen inks on the front. So this one is a black. I think they did green and gold and
Blue and a purple.
Yeah, there were some multiples.
Yeah, brown.
So depending on, like, the black is the most. It's not the most sought after. They used the black one the most. I think the gold. I could be corrected by this. Gold or one of the other colors was used the least, and that's the one that everybody's looking for. But looking for the whiskey is hard to get because obviously
Right.
we're not making it. This was just a short run, and this is compared to the one I bought. They only sold the 375 ml bottles in Tennessee, and I took home a 153.4, I think,
Oh, my.
and I saw it as high as 155.2 in the bottle.
So we're going from 290s to 145.1 right now.
It's fine. It's fine. Look, I got
fine.
giddy when we were about to get here because I love that whiskey. It's big, it's bold, it's a big, strong hug in the chest.
Without how this is going to sound,
Uh,
it just explodes
Yeah.
when you take that. I wasn't going to say in your mouth.
In your
it
mouth
just
hole.
explodes when you take that taste.
It's not the first time I've heard that
No.
from him.
Yeah.
But the thing is the finish on this, everything is in your mouth. Everything is in your mouth. And after I swallow it,
just
I
do
know,
that?
just
I know.
let me get through this.
You have no idea.
And then
We struggle
just-
with this.
He's underhanding them.
Right.
He's just like here, lobbing them up to you.
it's so flavorful.
I mean, we've talked about this when we've talked about Coy Hill. At 145 proof,
it
I
shouldn't
can't
be
get
that
over
smooth.
It should
how
not be.
flavorful it is.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. None of that overpowering alcohol. You think that's all it would be.
Right, right. It's going to coat your cheeks and tongue like a big, bold, dark wine.
Yes.
You know how it just lays and you swallow and you're still enjoying it. But it's not that like I'm squeezing your neck,
Right,
right.
It's unbelievably good. 145,
good.
guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know that's crazy.
it's above the distillate. You know, we
Right.
make
Right.
140. It's above the distillate. So it's
This is
it's so
amazing
good.
every time.
Yeah.
Jed, this has been just an absolute treat, man.
Maybe next year we'll get 2 other hosts. I don't know.
Hold on. Wait a minute. What can I give you to make sure that
No.
doesn't happen, Jed?
No, this has been fun, man.
It has, and to let us have a 50-year taste of an original Jack Daniel's, your newest,
Yeah.
that unfortunately you can only get in Tennessee, but still,
So come and visit us.
yeah, exactly.
It'll be
Because,
worth the trip.
you know,
I'm sure.
and really quickly, that's if you've never been to the Jack Daniel's Distillery and if you've never taken the tour, it is one of the most professional, fun, interesting distillery tours I've ever been on. And again, that's not just saying it because you're standing here.
No,
And
it's-
nothing's-
it's Disney World for adults.
It
man.
is.
Yes,
amazing.
absolutely. It is the happiest place on earth.
Right.
And
Or will be shortly.
it is completely honest, meaning there's
Yeah.
not a moment in the tour where we have to mock something
No.
up so you can experience it. You walk through the still house and it's over 100 degrees, but you're okay with it.
Right.
Because you're seeing clear raw 140 coming off that still. It smells glorious in fermentation.
so good
you know,
when it's
and then
there.
we waft whiskey in your face and mellow it. It's over. You're on a buzz by the time you're tasting whiskey
Oh,
in
you
our
are.
tasting room.
It's amazing.
And you're welcome.
Jed Lirette, the senior ambassador for Jack Daniel's here at the 83rd Sturgis Motorcycle Rally.
See, even the honeybee.
We're getting
likes
ready to go do the
tequila
tasting
barrel.
right now, and again, you made our day, Jed. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all
man.
so much. Yeah,
thank you.
y'all were wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching Whiskey at Work.